The only way I would feel any sympathy for Nico is if this was above him, if this was truly something that was above him. Like, I'm doing this because this is what ownership wanted me to do.
He does feel like a fall guy. Nico Harrison keeps finding himself in front of microphones, and I'm hoping that the exit interviews with the press this last time is the last time that he does it. And I'm talking about forever, because until the big asteroid hits Earth, the only thing that people are going to want to ask him is, why'd you trade Luka, bruh? And honestly, the answer is never going to make sense. I don't care if Luka's defense was worse than a gas station condom with a hole in it. You do not trade that man. Anyway, in his exit interview, somebody actually asked Nico Samaria why he shouldn't be fired. And this sweet man actually answered the question with thoughtfulness. Bless his heart. Samaria, what do you make of Nico's interviews the last couple of weeks?
For you to say that you underestimated Luka's impact on this Dallas fan base, you're not smart. And if you actually believe that, why would you say that? Like, you've been getting so much heat. Why would you say, yeah, like, I knew that. Let's read the quote. I got the article. I did know that Luka was important to the fan base. I didn't quite know to what level. And you're the general manager of an NBA franchise. And you did not know that Luka Dončić, or what level the impact he had on this fan base.
Let me shoot him some bail. Look, you mind if I shoot him some bail?
Fine, go.
Most fans nowadays aren't necessarily like super loyal to any particular team, right? Like there's everywhere is like fair weather fans nowadays. So just because you live in Dallas doesn't mean that you're super passionate about anything about Dallas. It's just by virtue of being there, you're going to support the team, going to support the games. And Nico comes from transient cities, right? He used to live in Portland, where he worked for Nike for many years, and most people that live in Portland aren't from there. So Trailblazer fans are not really Trailblazer fans. They just like basketball. And so it feels at times that like a lot of fans are kind of like that. I'm a fan like that. I just like I like the game. I ain't too invested one way or another in any particular player. So maybe I'm just trying to help the brother out because he's getting death threats, and I don't think that's necessary.
No, please don't threaten to kill the man. I know that you can't come out and say this was not good, but for you to say that, I just feel like there's something that's not clicking there, right? So then he says, when you have 20,000 people in the stadium chanting "Fire Nico," you really feel it.
Yeah. I feel bad, bro. Like I wonder what his days are like. Like I wonder if he's having the opportunity to smile. Because now, according to ESPN's Tim McMahon, Mavericks governor Patrick Dumont is like kind of tired of Nico and is saying the Nico we trust era, which was the thing that everyone in Dallas was saying for a few years there, when of course he made the Gafford trade and got some other pieces that helped Luka make it to the finals just a season ago. It feels like that slogan is no longer in Dallas, and it feels like they either may let him go or bring somebody in to help him run things. And
I was going to say the only way I would feel any sympathy for Nico is if this was above him, if this was truly something that was above him. Like, I'm doing this because this is what ownership wanted me to do.
He does feel like a fall guy.
Right.
Yeah.
And he's just like, if he just said, you know what, like, I have been in situations like covering the Titans where the head coach was fired. They brought in the general manager. We all know that the general manager had nothing to do with the head coach being fired. It was from the owner. And he had to come in and answer questions. And he's like, this is above me, you guys. There has to be some sort of honesty because he is getting all of the flack on this.
Yeah, but you know what? I salute him because he's at the very least being in front of the microphone. I remember some years ago when the Knicks had a GM who actually their current GM now, I forget his Worldwide West, right? There was some years where after Worldwide West was brought into the Knicks organization as their GM, the Knicks still were terrible. And Worldwide West has a huge personality. Everybody who comes from a sneaker background and basketball in general knows who he is. But when it was time for there to be some level of accountability on the Knicks rosters that were always floundering, he was nowhere to be found. You know, when there were trades and there were things that were people were scratching their head at, Wes was nowhere to be found. At least Nico Harrison is being front and center and being a man. And he's not even like angry. Like if you ask me, like, why shouldn't I be fired? You know how condescending of a question that is? I'm going to tell you to kiss my ass. And I'm going to ask you why you think I shouldn't whoop your ass. Don't ask me why I shouldn't be fired while at my job in front of all these people. Are you out your goddamn mind? Are you crazy? This man, Nico, is such a sweet spirit. He really sat and pondered it like, damn, why shouldn't I be fired? And he said, well, I think I've done a pretty good job. And he was so, like he was so sweet, and I felt immediately bad for him. So I wish that they would have maybe afforded him some PR information. Like somebody should have told him how to handle the onslaught of media, and maybe just something, because the brother
the owner should have been there. That's something that I do hate. No. I know that people don't want to hear from the owners, but y'all, like, to make a move this big, I got to hear from everybody. Because I would feel really bad for Nico if this was not his call. If this was your call, fine. I don't care. But to do something this, like, egregious, it had to be somebody telling you, okay, I need you to make, like, the craziest move of all time. I need you to do that.
It is crazy. It is crazy.
There's no way he did this on his own, Rodney. Please, I'm trying to tell you.
This is a new ownership group. I don't think we've ever heard from them. I haven't heard anything from this ownership group since they purchased. I know what they look like, but only because there was some political things that came out about the new ownership group. You know, they're extremely right wing. Trump supporters donate a lot of money, and so there was an article about that, and they posted them or whatever. Excuse me, that I saw, but. There's been a lot of whispers and rumors about why this move was made. And I think that if you put those people in ownership in front of microphones, they have to be asked questions that they would be very uncomfortable answering. And if it's one thing I know about billionaires and multi-millionaires, is that we don't want you in my business like that. And I don't want to put myself in a position to be vulnerable, to have my true intentions be outed.
Well, then you can't fire Nico then.
Yeah, you can. No, yes, you absolutely can fire Nico.
You cannot fire me if I did something crazy that you asked me to do.
Well, that's how business works. That's management, right? Like this is. Have you ever had like a real corporate job? I know you worked in like corporate television, but have you had like a real corporate ass job? Mm-hmm. So I've been in jobs where like I was given a directive from a manager, right? Like somebody's like, yo, this is what we're doing. This is strategy. We need to implement it like this, X, Y, Z, blah, blah, blah. And so I do it. And the results of what they told me to do weren't to the standard of what high brass wanted, and I was the fall guy for what was dictated to me to do. And so that's just the structure of things, right? It's just like the owner's never gonna take the bullet, like that's the luxury of money, is you're protected, you're insulated. So yeah, black man, you get out there in Texas and you scramble for words. I'm not doing that. And if I don't like the response, I can always hit the reset button by saying, yeah, he was rogue. It was a rogue agent right there. You know what I mean? We got to find somebody else to write this thing.
Right. And unfortunately, he can't go off and say anything because you're never going to get another general manager job. Well, he probably won't now, but.
Yeah, but he can always go back into the sneaker world. He came from Nike, one of the highest executives in Nike. Yeah, Nike is on an upswing right now. Maybe there's some other brands out there, and he'll be fine. This kind of man lands on his feet because you can see his spirit. In the midst of this firestorm that he's going through, you could see that he's like actually a good person. And I don't normally say that about like just the optics of somebody, but by all accounts, it feels like he's a good guy, and at the very least, Rob Pelinka will hook him up since he gave him Luka for pennies on the dollar. With all due respect to AD.
And what if him coming off as a good guy was good PR?
Well, then he's a mad scientist, and I don't know.
Up until that interview, I didn't think that he was a good person.
Why?
And even just because of like little things that you hear about him, or maybe there were like whisperings of what he could have said about Luka or whatever. Right? Like him like the little side eye, like during the game, like he does not come across as very friendly. So when he did I think that could have been good PR though. Good. Listen, we need you to be very endearing. We need you to be very sweet so that Rodney Rikai will like you.
Nah, man. The things that he was saying about Luka are true. Have you seen Luka play defense? It really is bad. It's like, it's laughable how bad Luka is on defense, but you still can't trade him. But everything that he said was spot on. So I don't know. Anyway, y'all let us know your thoughts on Nico Harrison's exit interviews. Do you feel like he should shut up forever and stop commenting and being in front of microphones? Or is being honest and truthful about what he thinks and feels the right strategy? Let us know your thoughts in the comments section.